Okay, too funny.
Okay, what?
Be careful.
It's not a big motorcycle, just a groovy little motorbike. This is the one that they were singing about, the Beach Boys. The Honda Super Cub. Alright, so the regular viewers in this channel are now saying the butter has slipped off Tony's noodle. But no, there's a reason for this. Actually, this is completely justifiable. So I've been kind of obsessing over the whole Honda Mini Moto thing for the last few months, right? I binge watch videos all the time, right? And I mentioned to Andy Woods, my friend Andy Woods from Unity Motorsports Garage, I was thinking about picking up a Monkey. Because out of all of them, it's like the Monkey really talks to anybody my age, you know, it's like we grew up with those things. So he goes out and he buys a Monkey a couple of weeks ago. Now I'm jealous, right? And I'm like, all right, I have to go get a Monkey. No, I got other things to do first. Don't buy a Monkey. And then Kathy, Uncle Kathy, Ultra Kathy, Applesauce, all of the different names. Now we call her Super Cub. She mentions to me, she says, you know, I think I'd like to learn how to ride a motorcycle. Oh, that's all you have to do. That's all you have to say, right? The next morning, we're going to the dealership. I'm going to buy a Mini Moto for Kathy. You know, not for me. So we go to the dealer, okay? And they have a Super Cub sitting there, but it's a mess, right? And I wasn't really thinking Super Cub. I was really thinking Monkey. And they got a Monkey there. And I'm saying, well, no, if she's going to learn how to ride, we need something that's like good for the neighborhood so she can run to the supermarket or whatever, you know, little errands or whatnot, Sunday afternoon, you know, little tours for the neighborhood. So the Monkey really doesn't fit that bill. The Monkey is really more of a toy. And the same thing with the Trail, right? The Trail 125, which was another one that was high on my list. Until I saw one in the flesh, and I was like, you know, it's a little chunky. There's something wrong. There's something just a little bit out of it. And I don't really see myself doing much trail riding with a Mini Moto. So that leaves the Grom, which I'm lukewarm about. The Grom really doesn't do anything for me. And then there's this. And then when you see a Super Cub in real life, like not just on a video, when you see one of these things in real life, if you're a real gearhead, if you have like any sense of like history and significance and all of that, then this really is special. And okay, so there's 1,000 videos on these bikes and they cover all of the high points. But for you guys who haven't seen them, the original Super Cub is, okay, so this was originally introduced in 1958 for the domestic Japanese market and brought here in 1962. But it's been in continuous production in one form or another for 65 years, and they've sold over 100 million of them. Then wrap your head around that, right? 100 million of these. It's the best-selling motor vehicle of all time. Like the next closest is like it's 60 million. This thing buries it. In other parts of the world, you know, in Cambodia, right, Vietnam, this is traffic. This is traffic. And even though it's tiny, you'll see like a family of 4 and a goat strapped to the back of this thing. That's why there's a little sticker here, you know, warning about overloading. These bikes don't know what overloading is. So we go to the dealer and I says, you know what, I'm just going to buy Kathy a new Super Cub. So I tell the girl, I says, price me up a new Super Cub, you know, we'll get one on order. So she does, and here's the paper that they gave me, and the price is $37.99. That's pretty cheap. Okay, I can swallow that. That's okay. And then I look at the rest of it, right? $6.99 for freight and prep. For freight and prep. You're a dealership. You have to have these things on your showroom floor. What are you going to do? Have a picture of the crate on your showroom floor? No, you have to go and bring this thing in anyway, and you've got to set it up. You've got to take it out of the box anyway. I'm not paying you $700 for that. It wasn't the $700. It was like the principle. And I know it's the standard thing. All dealerships do it. But in my mind, it's just like, no. You know what I mean? Just no. You're going to make your money off. I'm going to pay you full retail. I'm going to pay you the MSRP on this thing. You're making money off of that. Now you're going to, no. So I said, nope. And they left the dealer. I says, but I was bent on buying a Super Cub. I was like, I got to get a Super Cub. So we hit Facebook Marketplace. 10 minutes after we leave the dealer, we hit Facebook Marketplace. And there's this thing listed. It's a 2019, 800 original miles. He's asking $3,000. Sold. It's as good as sold. I go to his house. I offer him 2,800. He takes it. Boom. There you go. 800 mile, practically new, 2019 Super Cub. And it's a jewel. It's an absolute jewel. The thing about these bikes is that Honda, right, because it's like the ultimate legacy bike. Now you think about Honda, think about everything Honda represents. How many Accords are out there? How many, I mean, just Hondas, okay? Your Honda lawnmower, your Honda chainsaw, all of that. All of those vehicles, all of those machines, all those Honda machines. And I've always held Hondas in the highest regard. Their mechanical perfection, okay? All of the Honda legacy is all built off of this motorcycle. So you have to go back to the time that this was introduced. Designed, 1956, 1957, 1958. Finally in production in 58. And this was the original paint scheme on it too. The light blue representing the sky, the dark blue, the ocean, and the red seat is Mr. Honda's shirt. The guy always wore red shirts. So that's why this particular color scheme. So Europe, Japan, right, all bombed into a smoldering crater. The people had no money, they had no fuel, they had nothing. And the scooter was the main source of transportation. So Mr. Honda says, you know what, we can raise this to the next level. We need to fill that gap between the scooter and the motorcycle. And that's where this thing came from. And it is absolute perfection in that regard. It is exactly a cross between a scooter and a motorcycle. Though technically it is a motorcycle because of the wheels, the bigger diameter wheels. And they add tremendously to its overall stability. It bumps mean nothing to this thing, unevenness in the road. You know, all the little, you know, where scooters are twitchy and all of that, there's no twitchy with this. It's just flat out stable. So I bought it. I've been riding it a little bit. I only picked it up yesterday, day before yesterday. So I haven't really had a chance to really flog this thing. But I did put enough mileage on it to like really understand where it sits in the world of motorcycles. So here's what you need to know if you're thinking about buying one of these bikes. In its happy zone, which is like 30, 40 miles an hour, in the city, in the subdivision, right? It is absolutely perfect in every way, shape, and form. It's a dream. They built a Honda Dream too, right? But it's a dream. It does its perfection, 100 mile per gallon perfection. Where you don't want to own one of these things is if you're in an area that has a lot of hills and 50 plus mile an hour roads, because the top end of this thing, the honest top end is 50. Now I managed to achieve 62 miles an hour down on a long downhill run in a tuck, because believe it or not, whether you're sitting up or down makes a big difference in the performance of this bike. So 60 miles an hour, long downhill, full tuck, you can make it. But other than that, the same road that you'll get 60 miles an hour going downhill, you're going to achieve 35 miles going uphill. This thing if you live in that kind of area, this thing will generate road rage directed at you. Now I know there are some guys, I just watched a series of videos of some guy who took two of these, him and his kid I guess it was, took two of these things on like a 6-day cross country, like Okay, people do this stuff. You gotta be nuts. I wouldn't even consider doing something like that. This is not the bike to do it with, but people do it. There's lots of videos on this thing that cover all of the details. The heel and toe shifter. By the way, that's another thing too. If you're used to riding regular motorcycles, this thing will get you, because its neutral is all the way down and then it's 4 gears up. And you got this little heel shifter here, so you can upshift with your heel. There are reasons they did this. And it's also got a centrifugal clutch. But that's the next video that we're going to do. Right? We're going to test something. Right? But it has a centrifugal clutch, so there's nothing to work with on your left hand. It leaves your left hand completely free. There was a reason for that. And like I said, we're going to put it to the test. Next video. One of the things I don't like about the bike is it has a proximity key. I don't know why they did that. I think they were trying to appeal to like the modern Honda buyer, the urban, up and comer that likes gizmos and gadgets. And so it comes with a proximity key. I've got it just clipped here to the rear view mirror. So you have to be within the zone of the bike and it turns on the electrics. It will fail, and when it fails, I'll convert it over to a more conventional setup. But for right now, it's got the proximity key. The Grom, the Trail 125, and the Monkey all have a conventional key. So I'm sure that all of those things can be retrofitted into this bike. It has the same 125cc motor as the Grom, the Monkey, and the Trail. It's fuel injected. I know, right? Crazy, it's fuel injected. And on top of that, it's got ABS. Yes, ABS on this thing. I know I'm probably 30 years behind the time, and it's not a surprising thing to have ABS on a new bike, but you know what? It's there. It's weird, but it's there. I also had figured out how to get little wheelies out of it, but that's we'll cover that with the testing. Other than that, I mean, the styling of it, look at it. It's just timeless. I would buy one of these things just to stick it in my living room and look at it. The detail is exquisite. The emblems and the fit and the finish, it's off the chain. So yes, your manhood has to be very secure for you to ride something like this. My manhood is very secure. I'm okay with it. I own a couple of Harleys. It's all right. I can ride this thing on occasion, but I bought it for Kathy, so so she'll learn how to ride. I don't know what else to say about it. It's magic. Right? It's just absolute magic. If you're into these bikes, like I said, there's 10,000 videos on them that cover all the little details and stuff that I'm still learning about it. So by all means, dive in and go. But like I said, now I'm part of the Honda Mini Moto crowd. And yeah, I'm definitely, Andy, I'm going to get a Monkey. I'm definitely going to get a Monkey. By the time the no-name nationals run around, I'll have a Monkey. But for right now, we're good with the Super Cub. And that's it. Like I said, tomorrow, we're going to put this thing to the test, like the real test, testing the legend, right? The reason why it exists. Until then, I'll see you tomorrow.